Hi guys! This is the first book that I've read that in the actual month that I was supposed to read it for a couple months. So yay! I read The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. It's pretty thick. Like it's got 560 pages. 550 pages. Reading an hour a day. It took me 8 days to read it. So The Book Thief, there's a movie out now as well, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm probably not going to do a review of it or add it to this review or anything. If you're not interested in reading the book, you can always just watch the adaptation. But The Book Thief is set in Nazi Germany, and I believe it starts in like 38 or 39, and it goes until the main story goes until like 1943, 44. It's written from the point of view of death, what we would consider the Grim Reaper, which is kind of interesting. I've only read a couple other books that have that point of view. The Book Thief is a little girl. I think she starts out, the main story starts when she's like 10. She just has a habit of stealing books. In the first scene, her mother is taking her to be adopted. Her mother can't care for her, so she's just kind of left with this family. On the way, her brother dies, possibly of tuberculosis or an infection, and they have to bury his body in some strange city. While they're there, the book thief sees this book on the ground and picks it up, and it turns out to be like Grave Digging 101. It's the first book that she ever gets. She has a great new life with these two foster parents, and they take care of her. She goes to school. Her papa teaches her to read. Her next door neighbor is the same age. I think he's like just a couple months older than her. So they become immediate friends, and they become actually best friends for life. So it just talks about her life, and I think there's like 6 books that she acquires. That's pretty much it. It's just talking about her like 5-year span while she was living in this house. Another thing that it does is it goes through every main and secondary character's death, which is interesting, be it they die at 25 or 85, like it goes through how everybody dies. I do like the author's writing style. It's kind of interesting. The organization is a little weird. There's quite a few page breaks, and then there's these things that occur, little side notes to bring specific items to your attention. It's a really interesting organization, but the good thing about it, considering it's a young adult teen novel, is that it actually breaks up the story not just into chapters but into smaller sections. The language is generally what I would consider to be high school, maybe sophomore, junior level reading. And there's quite a bit of German language in here as well. There's German insults especially. Every German phrase is explained at least once or twice. In the very beginning, Death talks about the colors. When he picks up a soul, he looks at the sky and, analyzes the color of the sky and associates that with carrying the soul away to deal with the pain of death. But I don't understand why. I mean, it's an interesting thing because colors, become very important to the author throughout the book. But I'm not sure why the reader needed that. I mean, it adds an interesting piece, but I'm just not sure what the purpose of it was. So interesting, the cover of this book, it's got a bunch of dominoes, but there is only one scene in the whole book that talks about dominoes at all. It's not even a significant part of the book. This scene in the book, I wouldn't have made it the title. I would have maybe done a stack of books or something with the titles of all the books that she got. This is historical fiction. As I discussed earlier, it's set in Nazi Germany, and it's actually based off of at least a few specific events and battles This author has amazing imagery and metaphors and analogies. It's so colorful, but I actually really love his use of metaphors. It's like rampant, but it's not bad. I don't mind it. I found it very entertaining, and it definitely helps bring the picture to your mind, and you can definitely see everything that's happening. One of the themes of this book is just the power of books and words and communicating that way, which I think is great, because people don't understand just what words and books can do. There's just so much that happens with the use of books. I think it's a great way of showing just why books are so important to humans, is because we use them not just for entertainment for that 5 seconds that you're reading, or the 5 hours or however long that you're reading that book. That book stays with you and helps you in so many different ways. But I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm gonna purchase it. If I get the urge to read it again, then I'll buy it. There's so many different ways to access this book, and I definitely recommend that people do that, because it definitely stuck with me, and there's so many themes and so much information about how literature can help you with your life. And I don't even know what is on my shirt. It's probably ice cream. But it's definitely a book that I would recommend for younger children, especially those who are struggling with sitting through and reading a whole book. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. I would read it again, but I feel like I don't need to. I really like this author, so I'm gonna follow up with a couple of other stuff. But thank you for watching. All of my links and everything for my Goodreads and everything else is going to be down below. If you've got any comments about this book, even if you didn't like the book, just tell me how you felt about it. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me. If you have any suggestions for books for me to read, go ahead. I probably already have it on my list of 1,000 books, but I'm always open to suggestions. I will see you guys in hopefully just a couple days with another video.